Okay, there we go. Hey guys, today I'm gonna let you watch me fail at decorating this cookie cake. Baked this earlier today. It's totally dry, so the icing won't melt. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a border first. So I'm gonna take a little bowl, and I didn't make my frosting today, even though I make some pretty good frosting and just regular buttercream, whatever. But so yeah, store-bought frosting, Betty Crocker whipped vanilla. I'm gonna just spoon a whole bunch of that into this bowl where I'm gonna mix the color. So how are you guys? What's up with you? I ask as if your responses won't happen after the video. Alright, I'm gonna start with that for now. One full little bowl. Let me move the cookie for a second. That would have been smart. So there, in my range of view is me doing my color mixing. And these are all my Wilton cake decorating accessories, including Wilton purple food dye. I'm gonna put just a drop in to start with. When you dye icing, if you're gonna want like a really light color, start with less, because you can't take away, but you can add. And I want kind of a lilac-y look, so I'm just gonna start with that one drop and mix it in well. And then add if I need to, if I'm not happy with this color. Oh, and I didn't show you my adorable spatula. You see my adorable Halloween spatula? I got that at Target like 2 years ago. It's tiny and it's got a little skeleton on it, and the other one in the set says boo. And I love tiny Halloween things, are adorable. Alright. Trying to decide if I want this color, or if I want it a little bit darker. I think I want it just a little bit darker. But I'm afraid of making it too dark. But, oh well. This is not a how-to, this is an adventurer's in. Come on. Ooh. Okay. That was a lot. Might not have seemed like a lot, but it's a lot. I don't know that this is exactly the color I was thinking of in my head, but I'm not exactly sure how to achieve exactly the color. But I think this might be close enough. Yeah, I think so. I think we'll move on to putting that into our bag and starting to decorate. Okay. Woo. Alright, now just to scoop this all into my decorator bag, which I have already equipped with my little oh, what? Oh, I know. It's Yeah, it's a star tip. By the way, if you don't like decorate with icing, or you'd like to, but you haven't a lot, yeah, you will be covered in it. Just a warning. Okay. Sometimes I just wish I had more hands. Alright, and now that I have my bag all set to go and my hand all covered in icing, I'm just gonna do a really simple shell border, because as much as I like to think I'm like really good at cake decorating, I'm also kind of actually just an amateur. I'm actually not that good. This is totally how not to do a shell border, by the way. In case you maybe thought I was really good at this, I am not. This is not one of those, oh, hey look, I'm really good at a thing videos. It's one of those, I'm vlogging videos. Gummy. I should have made my own frosting. This frosting is not a great consistency for this either. Time to turn the cookie! That one ended up comically larger than most of the others. Okay. So much frosting on my fingers. Yeah, this frosting is like way too liquidy. Oh well, it's the frosting I chose. Okay. So there is my rather unexciting border. I think I meant to make it bigger. I should have. You know what? I should have used this tip instead of this tip, the large star tip instead of the small one. But whatever. You learn, you make mistakes. It's not like I work. It's not like I messed this up for someone other than me. This is for like me and my mom just because, not for any particular reason. It's not anybody's birthday cake or anything super special. So what I'm going for in the middle of this cake is an Angry Bird, but this Angry Bird that I drew for myself. I'm not gonna do that bow. I don't know if I'm gonna do the differently colored spike things. It just depends on how I'm feeling about my skill. But that's what we're going for. Something that looks kind of like that. Only I don't have, I should have got black Writer icing, like just pre-made, because I don't feel like making black. So that part is actually gonna be purple as well. So what I'm gonna do here, and hopefully I have enough icing left for this. Ooh, okay. Having struggles with this. Ugh. There we go. I've got this quick change tip on, so you actually can just screw this off. Pull out your tip, it's could still have like nasty icing and stuff on it. Well, not nasty, it's delicious icing, but it's gonna be all over everywhere. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put my little writer tip on. Ugh. Oh no. Okay. Sorry, I'm still working with limited range of motion in my left arm because I'm not really supposed to be moving it around too much. But it's mostly just I don't need to put too much pressure on it. Like, I can move it around. Okay, so what I'm gonna go for is I'm gonna go for the circle of the bird. Just in the center of the cookie here. And there it is. It's kind of lopsided and ridiculous, and I don't even know if you can see it that well. But lopsided and ridiculous is really not so bad. So now I'm gonna go ahead and just make the tail, since I'm doing the tail in lavender as well anyway. So I'm just gonna make the funny little tail here. And I'm referencing my image just off screen there. Holding my icing bag too far up. Or I divided my icing and that was bad. Okay. Okay. And I'm just going to fill those in with this same tip. Kind of get it in there and spread it around. Technically, there's another tool I should be using to do this with, but I don't even have one of those. Oh, it's not bad to use your tip for it anyway. It's just there is a tool for that. And yeah, it looks funky and stuff, but you know what? I'm not in the least upset because I'm just going for it, you know? So this is where the stomach is gonna be. A little white part on the bottom there. So we're just gonna do that. And then what I'm actually gonna do is when I do the eyes, I'm gonna just layer them over the purple that I'm about to lay down. If this were bigger, I would switch to a larger tip, but it's kind of a small area, so I'm not too worried about it, to be honest. Because, I mean, it's going to take a little longer than it would have, but I think, to be honest, with something this small, the time it takes to switch tips was gonna about even this out. I'm just gonna go back through on this and try to get my little gaps filled in. And I am devising a plan. Let's see. Or I'm trying to devise a plan. I don't know if it's going very well in my head here. Because I have way too much of this purple left over. And that just sucks. So I was thinking about maybe doing the headpieces in purple and then doing the blue with sprinkles instead. But I just noticed one of them goes over the head. So I might just mix a little turquoise for that, and do that way. Which means leftover purple is... I have no idea what I'm gonna do with this. Cool! Alright. Gonna have to wash that tip, so I'll be back. Okay, so I have washed my writer tip, and I have another bag that I prepared early, well, that I put the cap on earlier. And what I'm gonna do here is unscrew this cap so I can put the tip on. Oh boy. Alright. And I am gonna spoon just a little bit of white in here, which is white frosting. I'm doing nothing to it. Woohoo! Okay. Don't know if I'll need more than that. Should have tried to get that further down because this is trying to work it down is silly. But I just put a really small amount because I don't really need a whole bunch of white. I'm just gonna fill in down here. I'm just gonna wipe my tip off. My hands are clean, I assure you. Not that you have to worry, because you're not gonna eat this. But yeah, clean hands is pretty important. So I'm just gonna make the eyes now. And I'm gonna go ahead and not bother to put lashes on these because laziness is wonderful. one eye looks better than the other, but oh well. I don't mind. And that was still too much white frosting, but that I can at least do something with. What was I gonna do next? I'm going to grab, this is actually a nail for making like flowers and stuff, so you can like rotate it, but I'm going to use the tip end for some very shoddy pupils on this bird here. Come on. There it is, pupils! And more icing on my arm. Icing everywhere. There is icing everywhere, and also I sing everywhere. Okay. Boy, man, that looks funny. This is getting worse by the minute. Okay. So then I'm going to squeeze this out into this bowl. Actually, the smarter way to do this would be to take the tip off entirely. It's just off screen, I think, but I'm just squeezing it out into this bowl, and we're gonna use it again. All right. That is about as much as we're getting. So, I'm gonna go wash all my tips. Okay, so after I washed all my tips, I opened my blue gel food dye. Or I guess that's the gel, whatever, these ones, and it's already all over my finger because that's what these do. I'm gonna take this small amount of frosting here, and I'm going to turn it blue. It's not really dark enough. Sorry, I was trying to hold this up so y'all could see, but it ain't turning out so well for me. Gonna get the spatula out. It's still a little more sea blue than I want. So I'm gonna first add even more blue. And then I just might add some green to make this a little turquoisey. Which you may be like, why didn't you just use the teal? Because I had teal in this one, but that's not really the color I'm going for. I'm going for like a darker blue, man. Trying to, anyway. This is turning out very like oceany blue. Ideally, you would put a new toothpick into your coloring every time. And, you know, a toothpick. This is clearly a chopstick, but I lost the other chopstick at some point. Anyway. Yeah, see, I'm managing like a nice dark oceany color. Like if I was making an ocean themed cake, this would be the perfect color. But it's not what I'm doing. So, going to get a ton more dye all over my fingers. Yeah, because this was sky blue. So, to get a little more of a royal blue, I think I'm going to put a little green in there. Hands covered in dye. It's not going to go away for a couple days. Let me... Excuse me while I go in search of something else. Alright, I'm gonna just use a fork, and I just noticed I'm running out of space on my camera, so we may not get to the end of this. Whoops. Okay, let's see how this turns out. This may be a disaster. Oh boy. Yeah. I was afraid of this. But it's better. This is a little closer to what I was thinking of. A little more turquoisey blue. Then okay, no more green. But there will be more blue. And this is just trial and error, because that's the way I do. Great, you know what? I'm going to come back when I have the color I want. Okay, we're back. I got as close as I could. This is just gonna do. I'm gonna make my little head feathers on my angry birdie here. So, hopefully this is enough. Should be plenty. Kept winding up with too much frosting. Whoops. Alright, come on. Just trying to do that one-handed and it wasn't working out for me, so oh well. And then the one that folds over onto the face. There it is. And just fill in real quick.